Hi, this is part 2 of From Script to Comic Page. Last episode I talked about character sketches and doing rough sketches of each page from a script. And lastly I emailed off the roughs to my editor and awaited his critique. I got my reply and, as expected, a list of alterations. But thankfully this list wasn't very extensive and I was able to make these alterations in Photoshop, which saved me having to do too much redrawing. The first panel, these characters needed enlarging so they had more presence in the book, and some of the panels needed more headroom to allow for dialogue, so this one I just simply resized it, and this panel I just dragged it down on Photoshop slightly so there's more space for dialogue. Apart from that there wasn't much else, and the next thing I did was I traced out these roughs using a light box onto comic book paper. This is Blue Line Art Products paper. Now most comic book companies have their own paper, but they're all the same. They have this non-reproduction blue lines for your bleed and your trace edges, and these blue lines won't reproduce when scanned or copied. Okay, I've also penciled this using non-reproduction blue lead here with my mechanical pencil. Okay, and once again, when I scan these in document format, none of the blue lines will actually reproduce. The pros of using non-reproduction blue is there's no requirement to rub out your pencils once you've inked a page, which saves time and protects your ink work, which often gets degraded slightly when you rub out your pencils. Now the cons are you can't rub out at all, so any mistake you make you have to be careful not to ink it, and if another artist is inking your pencils it can get confusing for them. Also, blue lead isn't as strong as graphite, so you have to draw slowly else the lead breaks. Because it's permanent and fragile, this tends to affect the way you draw and can make your lines less dynamic. Now once again I'll now photograph all of these in full colour and send off just my pencils to the editor to check them over before I start inking. I hope this has cleared up some of the mystique of drawing comic books the Marvel way.